Lord Kim Darroch, always good to get your insight. Thank you, former British ambassador to the United States. Just a reminder of the breaking news this hour, the US confirming that it has targeted 85 sites in Iraq and Syria, including long-range bombers flown from the United States. Coverage continues throughout the evening on BBC News. We'll join our colleagues in Washington.
I'm Sumi Somaskanda in Washington, and this is BBC World News America. We have some breaking news tonight on President Biden's orders. The U.S. conducts airstrikes in Iraq and Syria against Iran's Quds Force and affiliated militia groups. Facilities that were struck in the region include command and control operations, intelligence centers, rockets, missiles, and more, according to the U.S. Central Command. Now, this comes in response to Sunday's attack in Jordan that killed 3 U.S. service members. Welcome to World News America, and we start with that breaking news. The U.S. has started airstrikes against Iranian-backed groups in Syria and Iraq. U.S. Central Command released a statement saying, in part, quote, U.S. CENTCOM forces conducted airstrikes in Iraq and Syria against Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force. U.S. military forces struck more than 85 targets. The airstrikes employed more than 125 precision munitions. Now, it comes after 3 U.S. soldiers were killed in an attack on a U.S. base in northeastern Jordan on Sunday by Iran-backed militant groups. Iran has denied involvement. Now, U.S. President Joe Biden earlier took part in the dignified transfer ceremony for the 3 in Delaware as their remains returned to the U.S. on Friday. He also met with their families. The 3 soldiers, Sergeants Kennedy Sanders, Breonna Moffett, and William J. Rivers, died in the strike near the border with Syria on Sunday, and 40 more were wounded. Now, we're going to bring in our State Department correspondent, Tom Bateman, who is with us here in studio. He's been looking at the latest for us. Tom, great to have you. What more at this point do we know about these strikes? Okay, thank you so much, Barbara. It's been so important to get your wealth of knowledge and expertise on the subject, particularly from the perspective of looking at the Pentagon. So thank you so much for that. And I just want to remind our viewers of what we've been looking at this news, the U.S. beginning airstrikes against Iran-backed targets in both Iraq and Syria. Central Command forces saying these strikes happened against Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, striking 85 targets, including command and control operations, intelligence centers, and weaponry. We have heard that those strikes were carried out, as we just heard from Barbara, from the National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby, that they intended to ensure that there were no civilian casualties. We, of course, cannot confirm that that's the case yet. We don't know exactly what the damage on the ground is just yet, but it comes, again, after last Sunday, 3 U.S. soldiers were killed at a U.S. air base in northern Jordan, and this has been the response now. Remember, you can get the very latest from our correspondents and analysts around the world on our website at bbc.com/news. We'll also continue to bring you up-to-date details and analysis right here on the BBC News channel. Our live coverage is going to continue with Katrina Perry here at the news desk in just a few minutes, so do stay tuned with us right here and again on our website. Thank you for watching.
Hello, thanks for joining me. Time for our weather outlook for the next